Part 92. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 911. There are more than 2,400 masters. It can be said that most of the ethnic groups and strong masters in the universe were killed by Li Yang at this time. The sudden changes in the ethnic group naturally made many strong people unbalanced, unable to control themselves at all, and all they wanted was revenge. Searched can on Google. Of course, there is an undying hatred between the major ethnic groups in the universe. They have been fighting each other for countless years, but Li Yang will not show any mercy. Thinking in his mind, at this time, the soul of Li Yang's octopus clone spread out and enveloped an extremely huge area. The founder of the world, a consciousness can even cover a star continent. For example, the eternal temple of the human race is the size of a star continent, and the consciousness of the eternal ancestor is in control of the entire eternal temple of the human race at all times. Although Li Yang failed to become the founder of the world, his soul was stronger. He has complete control over every situation in Yang Yuan star continent. Crazy alien infiltrators were being killed one after another. Generally speaking, they did not cause much trouble to the human race at all. After all, these people who have lost their minds and have the ability to take revenge are all powerful men at the emperor level. As for the Lord, there is no one at this time. The stronger the strength, the more rational people there are, but if it is too crazy, the masters will endure it for the sake of the ethnic group. After all, there are still some dominant groups left at this time. Those masters are definitely the strong pillars of the ethnic group. If one person is missing, the strength of the ethnic group will be greatly reduced. An ethnic group with a master can still gain a foothold in the universe. Therefore, the loss caused by the emperor alone to the human race will naturally not be too great. Human virtual world. Brush. Li Yang's figure appeared. Li Yang, are you here? Seeing Li Yang appear, the eternal ancestor smiled. Next to the eternal ancestor, the Hunyuan ancestor was also there. There are other masters of the human race here. These masters looked at Li Yang with a hint of awe in their eyes. Just kidding, although Li Yang is in the realm of dominance like them, dealing with them is a complete instant kill. How could they not be in awe in front of Li Yang? When a weak person faces a strong person, especially a strong person who can easily kill him in an instant, he will naturally feel awe in his heart. Teacher, the ancestor of Hunyuan. Li Yang walked over and asked, how is the situation now? The eternal ancestor is basically busy with the affairs of the human race now. His body and major clones are sweeping around, enslaving the alien emperors by the way. In a short period of time, he had enslaved dozens of foreign emperors. The human race is equivalent to having dozens more emperors all at once. The eternal ancestor smiled and said, so far, the territory marked by the 9 peak groups, the Kongli Dragon, the Thunder Star Beast group, etc. have all been emptied, and there is no more strong person. The orders of the human race were issued, and no one from the major ethnic groups dared to disobey them. At this time, war has begun outside the human race's territory. The demon clan relied on its strong strength to directly occupy the best part of the remote place. The other clans were still fighting for territory, and there was no winner for a while. Of course, the human race will not care about these. How the major ethnic groups are distributed in the remaining territory has little impact on the human race. We, the human race, have made a plan and the personnel are about to be arranged. In a month at most, we can prepare to transfer the population to those empty territories and multiply as soon as possible. The current reproduction of the human race has basically reached a state of saturation, and there has not been much change for a long time. After all, if a living planet has too many people to live in, it can be transferred to other planets. But other living planets are also saturated with personnel, and the personnel cannot be transferred. Therefore, the reproduction situation naturally comes to a standstill, and the total population has been maintained at the same stage. However, as long as there is a new territory, once the human race enters, the population will increase dramatically. The eternal ancestor smiled and said, "Our human race's territory has increased by about 20 times this time. It is estimated that in hundreds of millions of years, our total population will also increase by 20 times. The probability of birthing a genius will also be 10 times higher than before. Several times. Only the territory of the other 9 peak ethnic groups is in the core of the universe, and the probability of birthing a genius is about the same as that of the human race. As for territories such as the Kongli Dragon Clan and the Thunder Star Beast Clan, which are located in the subcore area of the universe, the probability of birthing a genius in a territory of the same size is lower than that of the human race. Therefore, in general, the human race's territory has increased by 20 times, but the probability of birthing a genius has only increased by 10 times. Of course, this is outrageous. For example, within a certain period of time, the human race may only be able to give birth to one master. And with the addition of these territories, during this period of time, there will be more than a dozen masters born in the human race. If the human race had so many territories at the earliest stage of its development, then there would no longer be 30 masters, but close to 600. How huge is the difference between 30 and 600? Moreover, the human race also has the Kaishan sect inheritance that Li Yang received. Next to the eternal ancestor, the Hunyuan ancestor also had a smile on his face. The territory of our human race has increased by 20 times. When our race has fully multiplied in these territories, coupled with the inheritance of the Kaishan sect that Li Yang has received, our race will the development speed will be at least 100 times faster than before. The inheritance of Kaishan sect will definitely increase the development speed of the human race to another level. After Hunyuan ancestor finished speaking, the faces of the human race masters were also full of excitement. Haha, 100 times the speed of development. Before, the demon race and others had similar territories to our human race, but now the territory of the demon race and others is less than 1/10 of the previous one. In total, our race's development speed will be more than 1,000 times that of the demon race. If the demon race is like this, other races will be even worse. After endless years, our human race, whether it is the emperor or the master, the number will definitely far exceed other races. Even more than the sum of all other alien races. Our human race will be truly invincible in the universe. The masters of the human race are excited. Now there are more than 500 masters in the entire universe, 200 of which are in the human race, and more than 300 in the alien races. The same is true for the founding ancestors. There are still more than a dozen in the universe. Even if Li Yang is included, the founding ancestors of the human race are not as many as the alien races. Comparing the two realms, although the human race is powerful, it is still not as good as the sum of all alien races. It is not as good as it is now, but it is entirely possible to surpass it in the future. It is a bit fantastic to say that one can crush the sum of all other top alien races in all aspects with one's own strength. However, judging from the current situation of the human race, it is entirely possible. It can be said that now in the entire universe, 70% of the territory belongs to the human race, and the other 30% belongs to all alien races, and the human race also has the Kaishan sect inheritance. With this calculation, the development speed of the human race can be imagined. Thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 rewards, thank you. End of this chapter. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 912. In the entire universe, the human race occupies 7 points, while other many alien races only occupy 3 points. It can be imagined that the development speed of the human race and the number of strong people added in the future will definitely exceed the sum of all alien races. The strong people of the human race were excited, and everyone hoped that their race would be strong. All this is now because of Li Yang, the ancestor of Hunyuan said, and looked at Li Yang. Let's toast to Li Yang. If it weren't for Li Yang, the human race would not have been able to obtain the inheritance of Caishan sect, and it would not have been possible to obtain several supreme holy artifacts, and he would not have been able to kill the ancestor of creation. The pattern of the entire universe is still the same as before, with the top 10 peak races on PAR, and the remaining ones are a powerful alliance composed of the Kongli Jiaolong race, the Lising Beast race, and other races. Li Yang. After the ancestor of Hunyuan said this, many strong people present looked at Li Yang with respect in their eyes. What the ancestor of Hunyuan said was right, the current situation of the human race was indeed caused by Li Yang. These masters can also rely on the Caishan sect inheritance obtained by Li Yang to make faster progress. Looking at the many eyes, Li Yang smiled and said, "Ancestor Hunyuan, don't praise me too much. Without you, those creators can't be killed at all. I am just an auxiliary. Moreover, as a member of the human race, I should make my own contribution to the strength of the human race. For the development of the human race this time, killing more than 2,400 masters is not the main thing. The most important thing is to kill the creators. 5 creators who are recognized by the universe and cannot die were killed directly, which frightened the monsters and other major tribes. They dared not compete with the human race anymore and gave up their own tribes' territories. Without killing the creators, the monsters and other tribes would not give in. Next to the ancestor of Hunyuan, the ancestor of Yongheng smiled and said, "Haha, Hunyuan, Li Yang, you have made unlimited contributions to the tribes, so don't be modest to each other. Next, our human race will completely restore peace, and no other race will dare to deal with our human race. Our plans will be carried out one by one, and our human race can develop with peace of mind." The eternal ancestor had a smile on his face. He was the earliest leader of the human race. His expectation was the same as that of the Hunyuan ancestor, that is, the human race would become the most powerful race in the universe. And now, this goal has been achieved. As time goes by, the human race will become even stronger. Hearing the words of the eternal ancestor, Li Yang also had a smile on his face. Yes, after many things, the human race is indeed going to restore peace, dominate the universe, and shock billions of races. And he finally stood at the top of the universe and no longer had to worry about any threats. After staying in the virtual world for a while, the strong men soon left one by one, and finally only Li Yang and the eternal ancestor were left. "Li Yang, what are you going to do next?" The eternal ancestor looked at his disciple and asked. "It has been a long time since the battle with the coalition forces. After the battle, the alien races that attacked the 3,000 star continents of the human race were killed or enslaved. At this time, Li Yang's various clones no longer patrolled the human star continent. Next, the human race completely restored peace. Li Yang said, "Teacher, I plan to stay on Earth, continue to practice, and wait for the breakthrough to become the ancestor of creation." Although the octopus clone has been protecting the Earth, Li Yang has not returned to the Earth for a long time. Now, all the problems have been solved, and the human race is the only one in the universe, and there is nothing to do next. He just needs to practice with peace of mind and improve his strength step by step. With the ancestor dragon clone, as long as Li Yang comprehends the law, he can naturally break through and become the ancestor of creation. In this case, Li Yang plans to stay on the Earth for a long time and no longer plans to go out. As for the place where the fusion law is inherited, his clone has been hidden before, so it has always been the main body that goes there. Now, his clone has been completely exposed, and he can send a clone to stay in the place where the fusion law is inherited for a long time, and slowly use up the remaining 2,000 years of inheritance time. Practicing is originally for better protection of family members. Now, Li Yang has completely such ability. The eternal ancestor nodded. In the practice of cultivation, if you want to break through the bottleneck, you need to hone your skills. Need to go to various areas to explore, looking for opportunities that defy the heavens. And the difficulty of breaking through from the master to become the ancestor of creation is the greatest of all the bottlenecks of cultivation. In the endless years, there are only 20 ancestors of creation in the entire universe. The chance, opportunity, talent, perseverance, etc. required for the breakthrough are all indispensable. If someone says that he will definitely break through to become the ancestor of creation in the future, it is estimated that it will cause all the strong people to laugh. However, the eternal ancestor has no doubt about Li Yang's breakthrough to become the ancestor of creation. Because he knows Li Yang's ancestor dragon clone. At this time, the eternal ancestor still has a trace of shock in his heart. Li Yang can actually breed such a terrifying life. Of course, in addition to being shocked, he is more excited that Li Yang can breed. In the future, Li Yang is completely likely to bring the human race to a whole new level. After saying a few words, the eternal ancestor looked at Li Yang and said, "I have discussed with Hunyuan, and next I will prepare to establish the third largest holy land of my human race in your name." Although Li Yang is the master, his status is no less than his and the Hunyuan ancestor. And Li Yang has the ancestor dragon clone, and he will definitely break through to become the ancestor of creation in the future. Therefore, he must have his own power. Next, the territory of the human race will increase by 20 times, and with the inheritance of Kaishan sect, the number of strong people in the human race will definitely continue to increase. The human race cannot have only 2 holy places. The third holy place, hearing this, Li Yang looked at the eternal ancestor. "Well, you are so powerful now, do you have to take on some responsibilities of my human race?" the eternal ancestor said with a smile. "But this is a long-term thing, and it can't be established all at once. Next, my human race will multiply rapidly. In the next tens of thousands of years, the number of people will definitely increase a lot, and a large number of geniuses will definitely emerge at that time. These geniuses will all belong to your forces. Now all the strong people of the human race belong to the eternal temple of the human race and the Hunyuan martial arts holy realm. It is impossible to divide 1/3 of the strong people of these 2 holy places and come to Li Yang's command. Therefore, after Li Yang's power is established, the subsequent geniuses of the human race will enter Li Yang's power and continue to be cultivated. Only in this way can they continue to develop and truly belong to Li Yang's power." Hearing what the eternal ancestor said, Li Yang smiled and said, "Teacher, just make the arrangements. Tell me when you have established it." He is not very interested in establishing power. For beings like them, power or not is not important. The key is their own strength. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 913. Strength is the foundation. For example, although the founder of the Hunyuan martial arts saint realm, the Hunyuan ancestor always leaves the affairs of the Hunyuan martial arts saint realm to the people below. He rarely manages himself and likes to hone his skills outside and look for opportunities everywhere. In the entire universe, a single person is strong, and he can sweep away a group of forces with his own strength. For example, this time, Li Yang and the Hunyuan ancestor joined forces and killed even the 5 founders of the world. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. It can be said that any force in the universe is like a chicken and a dog in front of the 2 of them, and can be destroyed with a wave of their hands. Well, you can just practice with peace of mind. Strength is important. After the power is established, just show up. The eternal ancestor smiled. The eternal ancestor also knew that Li Yang's practice was important now, and he had no energy to be distracted by this power. He just needed to be distracted a little and help Li Yang build up the power. The Milky Way, the Earth. After spending some time in the eternal temple of the human race, Li Yang quickly returned to Earth. At this time, Li Yang was staying with his family. "Dad, you won't go out this time when you come back?" asked a young man who looked very similar to Li Yang. He was Li Yang's son Li Dong. He had been working outside, and when he knew that Li Yang was back, he hurried back to Earth. "I won't go out," Li Yang said with a smile. "Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit." "Great." Seeing Li Yang nod, Li Dong was immediately excited. "That's right, Dad, your strength is already at the top of the universe, and you don't need to hone it." Li Dong laughed. He looked at Li Yang with admiration. As Li Yang's son, he certainly knew Li Yang's strength. More than 2,000 of the legendary dominant existence were killed by his father. Even the top creation ancestors of the entire universe, 5 of them fell at the hands of his father and the Hunyuan ancestor. Li Dong is still very weak. He is only in the world realm and has not broken through to the god realm. However, all the emperors were very polite to him before. This time, knowing that he was going back to Earth, an emperor even protected him and sent him back. This also shows how high Li Yang's status is. "Come, let's eat." In the kitchen, Li Yang's parents Li Kuahe and Zhao Mei walked out, and Zhou Yao followed them, each holding a dish. With this level of strength, cooking can actually be done with just a few clicks, but Li Yang's parents did it themselves to celebrate Li Yang's return. Zhou Yao sat down and sat next to Li Yang with a smile on her face. At this time, the family sat together and ate like ordinary people. After years of hard work, this day finally came. Li Yang looked at his family, his heart was calm, and the whole person relaxed all of a sudden. When the Earth was weak, he was worried about Tianluo, Na-Luoyu, and the alien race. But now, he no longer needs to worry about anything and can always protect his family. This is what he has always dreamed of. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Time flies, and for Li Yang, it is indeed a very peaceful life. But the whole universe is not peaceful. The territories vacated by the demons, metals, etc. were quickly occupied by the human race. And outside the vast territory of the human race, the territorial disputes among the tribes are still continuing. The demons occupied the largest area, followed by other peak tribes with remaining founders, occupying a slightly larger area. The 5 founders killed by the human race are all from the peak tribes. There are 2 founders of the demons, and 1 is still left at this time. The 4 peak tribes, such as the Metal tribe and the Ice Moon tribe, all have no founders. The remaining 5 tribes still have founders. The strength of these tribes is basically only lower than that of the human race, and the territory is slightly smaller than that occupied by the demons. Their territory quickly stabilized, and no other tribes dared to fight. The remaining tribes with dominant powers fought the most fiercely, but gradually calmed down as time passed. In the final territory area, among those dominant forces, the Thunder Star Beast tribe actually occupied the largest territory. In total, the territory of the Thunder Star Beast tribe is second only to the human race, and there are several major forces with the ancestor of creation, such as the demon race. Everyone knows that the Thunder Star Beast tribe borrowed the light of human Li Yang. The Kongli Jiaolong tribe, which had similar strength and territory to the Thunder Star Beast tribe before, now has only half of the territory of the Thunder Star Beast tribe. At this time, the Kongli Jiaolong tribe, the dragon domain overlord who had always been stubborn, couldn't help but feel a little regretful, regretting that he had always hated Li Yang and regretted not having any friendship with Li Yang. The difference in territory is half, and the development speed will basically be half. The territories of the major tribes have completely stabilized, and 2,000 years have passed. The battle for the outer territory lasted for 2,000 years. Of course, all this has nothing to do with Li Yang. On Earth, Li Yang's consciousness sank into the Kunlun mirror in front of him. There are the ancestor dragon clones and the major clones who comprehend the fusion law. His Kong Lai Jiaolong clone stayed in the inheritance place of the fusion law and accepted the inheritance with peace of mind, so Li Yang's original body was very free, and he specialized in studying the Kunlun mirror. Before, Li Yang also studied the Kaishan sect inheritance tower. However, the condition for entering the third level of the Kaishan sect inheritance tower is that one must truly reach the level of the founding ancestor and possess the peak strength of the founding ancestor. Li Yang obviously failed to meet the requirements, so he gave up research and concentrated on studying the Kunlun mirror. For him, the Kunlun mirror still has many mysteries. Just kidding, even if other supreme holy weapons are used, they will only increase the strength of the founder of the world several times. But the soul impact power of the treasure Kunlun mirror is extremely powerful, even suppressing most of the strength of the founder of the world. You know, Li Yang's realm is still in the dominance stage. He has not yet fully unleashed the power of the Kunlun mirror. In addition, Li Yang's activation of the Kunlun mirror only stimulates the soul impact inside it, which is incidental to itself. In the Kunlun mirror, there are many secret patterns for operation. Those secret patterns are somewhat similar to the secret patterns of laws. Only by mastering those secret patterns for operation can the power of the Kunlun mirror be truly unleashed. It can be said that Li Yang's previous stimulation may not have even reached half of the power of the Kunlun mirror. This shows how powerful this treasure is. The difficulty of the third layer of the Kunlun mirror's secret patterns has increased a lot. Li Yang's consciousness sank into it at this time. In 2000 years and 300 years, he mastered the first secret pattern of the Kunlun mirror. 500 years later, he mastered the second secret pattern of the Kunlun mirror. It had been 1,200 years since he studied the third layer of secret patterns, and he felt that he didn't even master half of it. But Li Yang is not in a hurry, he has a lot of time. The mastery of the first two layers of secret patterns allowed him to directly triple the soul impact power of the Kunlun mirror. The first level increases the power by 50%, and the second level doubles the power. This is the power of Kunlun mirror. At this time, if you fight with the founder of the world, that founder will definitely be suppressed even more severely. While he was comprehending, Li Yang's eyes suddenly lit up. Has the ancestral dragon clone reached the limit of dominance? Thanks to 08A for the 100 tip, thank you. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 914. Has the ancestral dragon clone reached the limit of domination? Li Yang's eyes lit up, and his face was obviously excited. 2,000 years have passed, and the ancestral dragon clone has reached the limit of domination, which naturally means that the three fusion laws have been mastered. In fact, Li Yang broke through to become a master in more than 1,000 years. Logically speaking, with the ancestral creator clone, it should not take 2,000 years for him to break through to become the ancestral creator. However, Li Yang previously comprehended the time, fire fusion law, darkness, lightning fusion law, space, gold fusion law. And his ancestral dragon clone carries a world in itself, and can naturally comprehend the life, wood fusion law, death, earth fusion law, darkness, gold fusion law. These are three new fusion laws. It is equivalent to Li Yang needing to comprehend from scratch. First master the single system life law, wood law, death law, etc., and then start fusion. So, it took so long. At this time, Li Yang has completely mastered the fusion laws of life and wood, death and earth, darkness and gold. As for the time, fire fusion law, darkness, lightning fusion law, space, gold fusion law, he has mastered about 2/3 of the three that he first comprehended. There are a total of 6 fusion laws, and the 3 that he comprehended later are actually the best. The key is that in the place where the fusion law is inherited, Li Yang focused on comprehending the 3 fusion laws that the ancestor dragon clone naturally mastered. After all, the ancestor dragon is a life at the level of the ancestor. As long as the three fusion laws that it naturally mastered can be directly broken through to become the ancestor of creation, as long as it comprehends the limit and the time, fire fusion law and other three that Li Yang comprehended before, even if he had mastered a lot of them before, but even if he mastered them all, Li Yang might not be able to break through. It is still unknown how long he will be stuck in this realm. Therefore, Li Yang naturally gave priority to the three fusion laws that the ancestor dragon clone came with. As long as he mastered it, he could become the ancestor of creation the fastest. The time when he first comprehended it, the three laws of fire fusion, etc., could be slowly integrated into his world. This was the best way to practice. Since you have reached the limit, then start trying to break through. On a desolate planet in the Milky Way, there was only an extremely ferocious giant beast at this time. The giant beast was huge, with an overall length of millions of meters. Its slender body was covered with countless ancient and complex scales, and the 9 claws under its abdomen. It was Li Yang's ancestral dragon clone. The situation of the ancestral dragon was special. When fighting with the coalition forces before, Li Yang was exposed to assist the eternal ancestor and the Hunyuan ancestor in the battle. But this assistance was only in secret. At this time, in the entire universe, only the eternal ancestor and the Hunyuan ancestor knew about his clone. Li Yang did not intend to expose it at all. Although the entire universe was no longer afraid of Li Yang's strength at this time, the necessary caution was still there. After all, the so-called Kaishan sect, which was unknown where, and even other forces, could not guarantee when they would arrive. Even if Li Yang doesn't know much about those forces, there are definitely some that surpass the ancestor of creation. Just kidding, the perfect Kaishan sect inheritance with 57 complete fusion laws, the method of refining the supreme holy weapon, etc., all show the strength of Kaishan sect. Being able to breed the ancestor dragon clone means that the life level is stronger than the ancestor dragon. Such a situation may attract the attention of some top powerhouses. Li Yang doesn't want to be a research object. Of course, this possibility is very small, but it is not impossible. Therefore, Li Yang's ancestor dragon clone is still hidden and has never been exposed. It's worthy of being the ancestor dragon. As soon as the three fusion laws were fully mastered, I sensed the bottleneck, and this bottleneck doesn't seem to be difficult. At this time, the ferocious ancestor dragon's eyes flashed with great excitement. The bottleneck between the master and the ancestor of creation is very difficult. There are still some top masters in the universe. Those who can become top masters are all geniuses in the universe, but they have been trapped in the bottleneck for countless years and cannot break through. According to records, it took at least 200,000 years to become the founder of the world. And now, Li Yang's total cultivation time is less than 4,000 years, which shortens this record by 50 times. The ancestor dragon clone was lying on the ground, ready to hit the bottleneck. At the same time, Li Yang's body was also sitting cross-legged, slowly comprehending the wonder of the fusion law into the world. Dominating the limit means completely mastering the three fusion laws, and becoming the ancestor of the world also means completely mastering the three fusion laws. There is no difference in the comprehension of the laws between each other. However, the key lies in the complete world. Completely integrating the three fusion laws into the world you created is the key to breakthrough. Li Yang silently comprehended that for other people, this world needs to be slowly comprehended, but the ancestor dragon is born with it, which is equivalent to giving an answer in front of him. He only needs to understand the answer. Time passed quickly, 1 day, 2 days. And at some point 3 days later, Li Yang's face suddenly showed an extremely happy look. Success. At this time, he completely knew the complete world structure of the ancestor of the world. Afterwards, Li Yang's own world actually spread out and continued to spread, covering the earth in a blink of an eye. Then it continued to spread, covering the solar system, the Milky Way, and was even still spreading. He felt his world slowly contacting this original world. And in this diffusion, there seemed to be a barely detectable sound in Li Yang's body, and then the bottleneck of life was directly broken through. The bottleneck of the ancestor of creation, breakthrough. Boom. At the moment of breaking through the bottleneck, Li Yang suddenly felt the endless fusion law origin in the void. This origin is not one, but three. The origin of the fusion law of life and wood. The origin of the fusion law of death and earth. The origin of the fusion law of darkness and gold. These three fusion law origins were sensed by Li Yang at the same time, and they were intertwined with each other. Crack. After this endless fusion law origin appeared, it did not enter Li Yang's body, but came into contact with the world created by Li Yang. In an instant, a gap appeared in Li Yang's own world, and then the three fusion law origins rushed into this world along the gap. This feeling is like, Li Yang's own world is a stream, and the original universe world is a sea. The two originally have nothing to do with each other, but now a channel appears between the stream and the sea, and endless sea water rushes into the stream crazily. End of this chapter. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 915. What a vast origin of the universe. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow Diamond Suit. At this time, although Li Yang was making a breakthrough, he was still shocked by the arrival of the origin of the fusion law. His own world has spread to the size of the Milky Way, and the origin of the law of fusion is pouring into his world from everywhere. This momentum definitely exceeds any breakthrough seen. According to what the teacher said, the breakthrough from the master to the founder of the world will not last too long. It will be over in about half an hour, Li Yang thought to himself. The previous realm has been broken through, but the body is absorbing the origin of the fusion law. But now it is the world he created that is absorbing it. In the entire world, compared to the body, the absorption efficiency is countless times faster. Therefore, this time cannot last too long. Li Yang thought to himself, the longer it takes to absorb, the stronger it will be. Just like the founder of the world, there will be a strength gap after the breakthrough. For some reason, if you absorb more sources of fusion laws, your strength will naturally be stronger, which is the same as the previous state. Of course, it is difficult to reach this level and absorb more than other founders. The 20 founders of the universe are all about the same strength after breakthrough, there is no difference. However, for Li Yang, there is a huge difference compared with those founders. That is the soul. Boom. The world created by Li Yang is frantically absorbing the origin of the fusion laws of the outside world, and his world is still expanding at this time. Some of the founders will stop expanding their world to a certain extent, and their world is larger, and naturally absorbs more sources of fusion laws. It is the soul that is stressed about this. How powerful is Li Yang's soul? If you dominate the realm, you can completely crush the founder of the world. His own world expanded, and at this time it even expanded to 10 times the size of other creation ancestors when they broke through. The world is 10 times bigger. At this time, various regions are frantically absorbing the origin of the law of fusion. This is like the gap between the other founders of the world and the sea, but Li Yang has 10 streams, all of which are frantically absorbing the sea water. Time flew by, and half an hour passed quickly. Li Yang also felt that the source of laws absorbed by his world had reached saturation. Finally, everything stopped, and the origin of the incomparably vast law of fusion quickly receded. The surroundings returned to calm. The breakthrough was successful. Li Yang, who was sitting cross-legged, had a smile on his face. Haha, the founder of the world, I finally reached it. This realm is the highest realm in the universe at this time. It took Li Yang more than 3,000 years to finally reach it. Boom. Li Yang clenched his fist and punched randomly. Crack. Suddenly, Cracks appeared in the void in front of him, and countless chaotic airflow poured down. This strength is at least 1,000 times stronger than what I was 2,000 years ago, Li Yang said with a smile on his face. 2,000 years ago, he had just broken through and become a master, and his basic strength was equivalent to that of a master in the second stage of strength. Relying on powerful treasures and incredible souls, he can crush the founder of the world. Without relying on treasures or souls, Li Yang can only be considered to be of average strength among the powerful masters. Before the breakthrough just now, Li Yang mastered all 3 fusion laws, and his strength was more than 10 times what it was 2,000 years ago. Then he breaks through and becomes the founder of the world, and his strength can increase by at least 10 times. This is a breakthrough for ordinary founders. Li Yang's breakthrough just now, because of his terrifying soul, he absorbed 10 times the source of the fusion law than other founders. This is equivalent to his breakthrough. His strength did not increase by more than 10 times, but by more than 100 times. Taken together, Li Yang's strength has indeed increased by more than 1,000 times compared to more than 2,000 years ago. Now that I'm fighting the founding ancestor, I can probably easily kill them in seconds, right? Li Yang felt happy in his heart, with a hint of confidence on his face. Just kidding, before, his strength could completely crush the founders of the world and suppress their strength to the level of dominance. But now, Li Yang's strength has increased by more than 1,000 times. With this strength, it would be absolutely easy to kill the founder of the world. At this time, Li Yang can be said to be invincible. There is no other opponent in the entire universe. Moreover, not only Li Yang's body, but also his major clones at this time have all broken through and become the founders of the world. Each clone can kill other founders in an instant. I don't know my current strength. Compared with the most powerful founder of the world, who is stronger? I should be stronger. With joy in his heart, Li Yang secretly thought in his heart. The cultivation at the creation ancestor stage is to continue to integrate the law. The most common founder is a fusion of 3 types. In the second stage, he is a fusion of 6. As for the peak founder, he has integrated 9 fusion laws into his own universe. As for the current Li Yang, in terms of basics, he has absorbed 10 times the source of fusion laws than ordinary founders. The source of laws is still secondary. His most powerful thing is his soul. As he dominates the power, his soul can completely suppress the founder of the world. And now he has truly broken through to the realm of the founder of the world. You know, the stronger the strength, the stronger the soul power will naturally be. At this time, Li Yang is confident that he will not fall behind even if he is compared with the most peak founder of the world. Li Yang's strength is at least 1,000 times that of the founder of the world. According to the information Li Yang has learned, even if the most powerful ancestor of creation is more than 1,000 times stronger than the ordinary ancestor of creation, it is impossible. In this comparison, Li Yang is now stronger than the most powerful ancestor of creation. This is the role of the soul. With a terrible soul, Li Yang will be an invincible strong man in the realm of the ancestor of creation once he breaks through the ancestor of creation. Look at my universe world. After checking his strength, Li Yang's smile became even bigger. He moved his heart and his whole body disappeared. When he appeared again, he appeared in a huge space. It is more appropriate to say that it is a space, but in fact it is a boundless world. The whole world is foggy and seems to be in a chaotic state. Is this my world? Li Yang felt it carefully. The 3 fusion laws can form the most basic world, and the world in front of him is Li Yang's world. In this world, he is the strongest and a true creator-like existence. This world is too desolate. Li Yang looked down and moved his heart. Buzz. As he thought, the whole foggy world in front of him changed rapidly. It was separated from the middle, and the sky above became a blue sky, and below, endless sea water surged. In the sea water, continents appeared, a bit like the distribution of continents on the Earth. This world lacks vitality. Li Yang waved his right hand, and life began to appear on these continents. And in the sea water, there were also waves of life. Thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 rewards, thank you. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 916. The founder of the world can easily create life. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. At this time, Li Yang truly became the founder of the world, and he could naturally create in his own world. This life is very weak, but it can be cultivated, it can become stronger and stronger, and even break through to become a god. Li Yang felt it carefully. Since it is life, it is intelligent, and with wisdom, it can be cultivated. But it can only comprehend the 6 laws of my world. Li Yang's world is structured with 6 laws, and 3 fusion laws are formed. The life born in it can only comprehend these 6 laws, and there are 3 fixed fusion laws, and cannot comprehend other laws. Of course, the stronger Li Yang's strength is, the more fusion laws he will integrate into his world, and the more laws the life created in his world can comprehend. In a word, the stronger Li Yang, the creator, is, the greater the potential of life in the world he created. Although it can grow, the potential can also be improved in the future. But in the current situation, it is very rare to become a god. According to the information Li Yang knows, the universe created by the Hunyuan ancestor has produced a total of 92 gods over endless years, and there is no emperor. The eternal ancestor is in a similar situation. The life he created has produced a total of 87 gods. This obviously also explains the situation. Compared to the vast original world, the world created by the creator ancestor is extremely simple. Li Yang sighed. The original world gave birth to everything, while their universe had too many flaws. At this time, Li Yang was not discouraged. As his strength became stronger and stronger, and his own universe became more and more perfect, he believed that sooner or later there would be an emperor, or even a more powerful master. It was mainly because the clone of the ancestral dragon gave Li Yang great confidence. There may be places like the Kaishan sect far away, and there must be countless strong people there. In those places, there may be creatures with a stronger life level than the ancestral dragon, and Li Yang broke through, and he clearly felt that the world tree clone could continue to breed clones. As long as he can continue to breed, then his future will have unlimited possibilities. The bottlenecks of the major realms may not be an obstacle to him at all. He may continue to break through, and even quickly break through to become an existence above the ancestor of creation. All kinds of thoughts turned around, and were quickly converged by Li Yang. Look at how big my world is. At this time, Li Yang tried to expand his world. The world of each founding ancestor is not the same size. Of course, it all depends on one's own strength. The stronger the strength, the greater the expansion. Buzz. The whole world is constantly expanding with the urging of Li Yang's consciousness. Soon, Li Yang even felt a little pressure on his soul. What kind of soul is he? He feels pressure. It is estimated that the expansion of other founding ancestor worlds has already reached the end. Of course, it is just a little pressure. Li Yang did not stop. He continued to expand. Gradually, his world became bigger and bigger. The solar system, the Milky Way, and even the billions of galaxies in the entire Yangyuan star continent. Li Yang's universe world actually completely covers it. And his world expansion has not ended yet. Yangyuan star continent, Fire Blue star continent, the star continents of the human race have been taken over by him one by one. The world was constantly covered, and finally reached hundreds of star continents. Generally speaking, The exploration range of a founding ancestor soul is the size of a star continent, and the expansion limit of the world he created is also this large. At this time, Li Yang's world obviously far exceeded them. Hundreds of star continents still did not make Li Yang reach his limit, and he continued to expand. 600 star continents, 700 star continents, 800 star continents, 900 star continents, 1000 star continents. Until here, Li Yang felt that he had reached his limit in all aspects and could not expand any further. If he continued to expand, the world he created would probably collapse directly. Li Yang did not continue, but he did not stop either. At this time, Li Yang only felt that he was in a very strange state. His soul seemed a little out of control at this time and came to a strange place. Plop. Plop. There is nothing here, but Li Yang feels a heart beating right in front of him. In Li Yang's feeling, the origin of the endless fusion law he felt when he broke through before started from here, was born from here, and began to flow to all parts of the world. It seems that this is the source of the whole world and the beginning of all life. In this vague feeling, Li Yang only paused for a second, and then Li Yang on the earth suddenly came back to his senses. What happened to me just now? Li Yang was stunned, as if he suddenly woke up from a dream, and his whole brain was a little unclear. But in an instant, Li Yang remembered what happened just now. I just sensed a place, where is it? At this time, a trace of shock appeared in Li Yang's eyes. Because, in his previous perception, that strange place seemed to be the origin of the entire universe. This idea came naturally, like an instinct. Thinking for a while. Boom. Li Yang radiated his own world again, even covering 1,000 star continents of the human race, reaching the limit. However, this time, Li Yang no longer had any special perception. Was it an illusion just now? No abnormality was found, which made Li Yang feel that he had just had an illusion. However, Li Yang was sure that he had not sensed it wrong. It was my own powerful soul that had expanded to the world of the limit, and vaguely sensed that strange place. Is this the mystery of the universe? The entire universe is extremely mysterious, with various laws, fusion laws, life, birth, death, etc. Everything exists naturally and follows a certain law. There must be many unknown places in the entire universe, and Li Yang just touched the unknown place. Li Yang pondered silently, and it was obvious that the situation just now had a great impact on him, and even that mysterious place might involve a higher level of cultivation. There are realms above the ancestor of creation, and Li Yang is not clear now. He doesn't know how to cultivate in that realm. Just now, Li Yang might have barely touched a higher level of cultivation. By the way, Kaishan Sect Inheritance Tower, I have now truly broken through to the realm of the ancestor of creation, and my strength has completely reached the peak of the ancestor of creation, or even stronger. Let's see if I can enter the third floor of the Kaishan Sect Inheritance Tower. The Inheritance Tower of Kaishan Sect has different information on each floor. The entry condition for the third level is to reach the peak of the creator, so there should be a higher level of cultivation information. Thinking in his mind, a small tower appeared in front of Li Yang. Li Yang entered it consciously and immediately tried to crack it. End of this chapter. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 917. On Earth, Li Yang has been practicing for 2,000 years. In 2,000 years, the human race truly dominated the universe, and the territories of other major ethnic groups were also stabilized, and a new pattern was completely formed. At this time, many powerful people focused on the competition for the territories of the major ethnic groups, but they did not know that a place in the universe was undergoing tremendous changes. Chaos Plains, this is a well-known place of opportunity in the universe. In terms of fame, Chaos Plains is more famous than the Star Desert where the Talent Ladder is located. Because the earliest inheritances of the human race, the demon race, etc. were obtained on the Chaos Planes. Even, 5 of the 10 supreme holy artifacts in the universe before came from the Chaos Planes. This is the place recognized by the universe as the place with the greatest opportunity. Not only are there masters, but even the ancestors of creation come here from time to time. And a very famous feature of the Chaos Planes is the sky. There is a huge crack in the sky of the entire Chaos Plane. The crack, like a natural formation, has existed since the Chaos Plane was discovered. No one knows how the crack was formed. The ancestor of creation has explored it. He kept flying along the crack. There was a completely chaotic airflow inside, and there was no end at all. Buzz. At this time, in the crack that had existed peacefully for endless years, a strange six-color light emanated. This light was like a meteor, extremely bright. At this time, after the six-color light appeared, it was suspended in the void. Diamond suit, diamond suit. And 7 days later. Whoosh. In the distance, a figure flew quickly. Looking at his face, he was a master of the demon clan. In the demon clan, a large number of masters were killed by Li Yang. At this time, there was only the ancestor of Wuhan and 5 ordinary masters in the demon clan. Compared with before, the strength has dropped significantly. What is the opportunity of the six-color light? The Blue Wolf master of the demon clan flew over and looked at the six-color light. Their demon clan suffered heavy losses this time, but in order to improve their strength, the ancestor of Wuhan asked him to come to this chaotic plane to venture and find opportunities. Chaos Plane is the place where strength can be improved most easily. At this time, not only the demon race, but also some powerful masters of other races that suffered heavy losses were wandering in Chaos Plane. The Blue Wolf Overlord stared at the six-color light. He felt the fluctuation of the six-color light from a long distance, and it took him a day to rush over. This shows how far the fluctuation of the six-color light is. His eyes turned, and then the Blue Wolf Overlord stepped forward and tried to see what the six-color light was. Chaos Plane has a lot of opportunities, but it also has dangers. The Blue Wolf Overlord carefully checked and confirmed that the six-color light itself was not dangerous. After exploring it, he helped hold the six-color light in his hand. The light dissipated, and in his hand appeared a strange crystal stone emitting 6 colors. The diameter of this crystal stone was only 10 centimeters, not big. There seems to be a huge energy in this crystal stone. The Blue Wolf Overlord felt it. There was nothing special about the 6-color crystal stone, but the energy contained in it made him feel a little palpitation. Then, the Green Wolf Lord tried to absorb it. Boom! After absorbing it, the Green Wolf Lord only felt a stream of extremely terrifying energy constantly entering his body and integrating into various parts of his body. As it integrated, the Green Wolf Lord felt that his strength was actually constantly improving. Is it to improve strength? The Green Wolf Lord showed a look of surprise in his eyes. On the Chaos Plane, there are indeed treasures that can improve strength, but not in terms of laws, but in terms of physical body and other aspects. Just like the blood of the ancestral dragon. If an ordinary person can perfectly absorb a dozen drops of the blood of the ancestral dragon, then his strength can even rival that of the emperor. This is naturally not an improvement in terms of laws. In front of him, this 6-color crystal stone is obviously similar to the blood of the ancestral dragon. The Green Wolf Lord was excited and kept absorbing. He felt that his strength was increasing rapidly. 10 seconds later, his momentum fluctuated. The second stage of Strength Master. And after 20 seconds, the breath of the Green Wolf Lord changed again. Top Master. At this time, the Blue Wolf Lord felt that the energy in the 6-color crystal had not been consumed. This speed. The Blue Wolf Lord was shocked by the speed at which his strength increased. Even though he had become a top lord, he had not consumed half of the energy of the 6-color crystal. The Blue Wolf Lord did not stop, and another 30 seconds passed. Boom! A wave of momentum far beyond the Lord suddenly burst out from the Blue Wolf Lord. The ancestor of creation. This is the wave of the ancestor of creation. I, Qing Lang, have become the ancestor of creation. The Blue Wolf Lord's eyes were full of shock at this time. He couldn't believe it, as if he was dreaming. How many ancestors of creation are there in the entire universe? There were only 20 before, and 5 of them were killed by the human Li Yang and the ancestor of Hunyuan. Now there are only a dozen. This kind of existence is what he dreamed of, but the Blue Wolf Lord couldn't even become a master of the second stage of strength, so it was difficult to achieve it. But now, a strange 6-color crystal helped him achieve it. And it only took 1 minute. In addition to being shocked, the Blue Wolf Overlord showed ecstasy on his face. Haha, opportunity. Great opportunity. He quickly entered the virtual world and contacted the Wuhan ancestor. 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 The shadow of Wuhan ancestor appeared, looked at the Blue Wolf Lord, and asked, "Blue Wolf, why are you looking for me so anxiously?" He knew that the Blue Wolf Lord was now on the Chaos Plane. The Blue Wolf Lord did not hesitate and quickly told his situation. Ancestor, I just found a strange 6-color crystal on the Chaos Plane. There is a lot of energy in the crystal, which can be refined and absorbed. It took me a minute to refine it. Its energy is like the blood of the ancestor dragon, which can greatly improve my strength. After I refined it, my strength was directly raised to the level of the ancestor of creation. The face of Wuhan ancestor had no expression. The decline of the demon race, even if 2,000 years have passed, he is still in a bad mood. At this time, hearing what the Blue Wolf Lord said, the face of Wuhan ancestor suddenly showed a trace of shock. What did you say? A 6-color crystal similar to the blood of the ancestor dragon has raised your strength to the stage of the ancestor of creation. The ancestor of Wuhan was shocked. How difficult is it to reach this level? Although the blood of the ancestor dragon can greatly improve strength, it can only help ordinary masters a little bit at most. As for stronger strength, the blood of the ancestor dragon is basically useless. And now, is the effect of this 6-color crystal stone tens of thousands of times that of the blood of the ancestor dragon? Ancestor, I just tested my strength. Except for the comprehension of the law, I am definitely not inferior to a creator ancestor in all aspects, the Green Wolf Lord said excitedly. At this time, the shock of the Wuhan ancestor had disappeared, and his face was also excited. The Green Wolf Lord became the creator ancestor, which is definitely a great thing for the demon race. Green Wolf, tell me in detail about the situation of the 6-color crystal stone. The Green Wolf Lord nodded. He was about to say something, but suddenly his pupils shrank slightly. A trace of his consciousness entered the virtual world, and the body in the world was still paying attention to the surrounding situation. And in his eyes, in the huge space-time crack above the chaotic plane, far away from him, 3 6-color lights appeared and flew in all directions. Thanks to Let It Be 2023 for the 1,500 reward, and 08 for the 100 reward. Thank you. End of this chapter. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 918. The pupils of the Blue Wolf Overlord shrank slightly. Rightward arrow. In his sight, 3 more 6-color lights appeared in the huge space-time crack above the chaos plane, flying in all directions. Taiwan Novel Network rightward arrow. Circled M. The fluctuations of these 3 6-color lights are exactly the same as the fluctuations of the 6-color crystal he just got. And the 6-color crystal just now directly piled him up to the stage of the ancestor of creation. Now 3 more appeared. Blue Wolf, what's wrong? At this time, the Wuhan ancestor was waiting for the Blue Wolf Overlord to answer, but the Blue Wolf Overlord, who was just excited, suddenly looked shocked and unbelievable, and he asked hurriedly. The Blue Wolf Overlord immediately came to his senses. He looked at the Wuhan ancestor and said quickly, "Ancestor, I just saw 3 6-color crystals appear from the huge crack in the chaos plane. But they are quite far from me." Before, the Blue Wolf Overlord sensed the 6-color crystals and it took him a day to rush over, which shows the distance. What? 3. Hearing this, the Wuhan ancestor's face showed an extremely shocked expression again. A 6-color crystal made the Blue Wolf Overlord, who was an ordinary overlord, directly possess the power of the Creator Ancestor. Now there are 3 more? Doesn't this mean that 3 ordinary overlords can become the Creator Ancestors? After being shocked for a moment, the Wuhan ancestor immediately reacted again. His face was full of excitement, and even his excited body couldn't help shaking. "Blue Wolf, hurry up. Go and get those 3 6-color crystals. I will immediately take Shi Yuan and others to the chaos plane," the Wuhan ancestor said excitedly. 3 6-color crystals, if they get them all, then the number of their demon race's founding ancestors will reach 5. How terrible is this strength? Moreover, he is still wondering if he can absorb it. If he can, will his strength increase dramatically? The strength of the Wuhan ancestor increased dramatically. If he can reach the level of the human Li Yang and the Hunyuan ancestor, then the universe will not be dominated by the human race. Instead, the human race and the demon race will be on par and share the universe equally. "Okay, ancestor, I won't say anything. The 6-color crystal is far away from me, but my strength has reached the level of the founding ancestor now. I estimate that I can get the 3 6-color crystals soon." After saying that, the Blue Wolf Overlord also immediately exited the virtual world. Boom. After exiting, the momentum fluctuations on the Blue Wolf Overlord completely broke out, and he rushed towards the nearest 6-color crystal. On the chaos plane, he is not the only one wandering around, there are also the overlords of other races. And in the territory of the demon race, the terrible momentum fluctuations on the Wuhan ancestor broke out. This momentum fluctuation even alarmed a large number of powerful monsters. What happened to the ancestor? I don't know. The powerful monsters were very confused. The key is that the ancestor of Wuhan was too excited at this time, and he couldn't even control himself. Rightward arrow. Opportunity. This is a huge opportunity that my monster race can't imagine. The body of the ancestor of Wuhan couldn't help trembling. "Snake Yuan, you and others follow me to the chaos plane immediately." He immediately set off, taking several monster masters with him, and left the monster territory. In the chaos plane, a huge crack spanned the sky, which seemed to have existed forever and had never changed. At this time, below the crack, the master of the Binjia clan, Yanlu, was flying slowly, looking for opportunities. Compared with the monsters, the Binjia clan was in a very bad situation at this time. The monsters at least had the ancestor of the creation, the ancestor of the Wuhan, while all the ancestors of the Binjia clan were killed, and more than 95% of the masters fell. At this time, there were only 5 ordinary masters left in the Binjia clan. The territory of the Binjia clan has shrunk by more than 100 times compared to before. The key is that the Binjia clan used to be powerful and naturally domineering, but it was weak, so many of its former enemies came to deal with the Binjia clan. The current Binjia clan is in an extremely bad situation. 2,000 years have passed, and in fact, Lord Yanlu and others have accepted the reality, but they are still unwilling to accept it. They used to be one of the 10 most powerful peak clans, how glorious. Now they have become like this, of course they are unwilling to accept it. After the clan territory stabilized, Lord Yanlu, the most powerful lord of the Binjia clan, came directly to this chaotic plane to look for opportunities and try to strengthen himself. Even if he is promoted from an ordinary lord to a lord of the 2nd stage of strength, the status of the Binjia clan will be greatly improved. What is that 6-color light? Suddenly, Lord Yanlu looked into the void, saw the 3 rays of light, and a look of doubt appeared in his eyes. He saw one of the 6 color lights flying directly towards him, and then he stepped forward and held it in his hand. It's a crystal, and there is a lot of energy in the crystal. Lord Yanlu thought for a moment and tried to refine the energy. Boom. Then, the terrible energy continued to flow into Lord Yanlu's body, and the momentum fluctuations on his body began to increase continuously. This strength is increasing so fast, Lord Yanlu's eyes were full of shock. In a blink of an eye, his strength was actually raised to the top level of the master. After the shock, Lord Yanlu's face showed an extremely ecstatic look again. However, he was not happy for long. When he just reached the top level of the master, Lord Yanlu noticed that a terrible strong man in the distance was approaching him quickly. The demon clan Blue Wolf Lord. Seeing the strong man and feeling the momentum fluctuations on his body, Lord Yanlu's face changed suddenly. The ancestor of creation. Isn't the demon clan Blue Wolf Lord an ordinary lord? How did he become the ancestor of creation? He had met Blue Wolf Lord a month ago, and at that time, Blue Wolf Lord was as powerful as him. However, only a month later, Blue Wolf Lord became the ancestor of creation? Is this possible? Shocked, suddenly Yanlu Lord also reacted instantly. It's this 6-color crystal. In just 30 seconds, he became a top lord, and the energy of this 6-color crystal was only absorbed by less than half. Think about it for a while. The demon clan Blue Wolf Lord may have also obtained the 6-color crystal. Lord Yanlu, put down the crystal in your hand, I can spare your life. When Lord Yanlu found Blue Wolf Lord, the extremely furious voice of Blue Wolf Lord came. The threat of ancestor of creation, if it was normal, Lord Yanlu would definitely be in awe and dare not disobey his orders. However, having guessed the magic of the 6-color crystal, Lord Yanlu was not afraid at all. He had only one thing to do, which was to quickly refine the energy of the 6-color crystal. Just 30 seconds ago, he was promoted from an ordinary lord to a top lord. At this time, Lord Qinglang was obviously still some distance away from him, and he could continue to improve. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 seconds passed, and Lord Qinglang finally arrived. Boom! The terrible attack came and completely hit Lord Yanlu. Puff! Lord Yanlu spurted blood from the corner of his mouth. Despite this, he did not die, and he still held the 6-color crystal tightly in his hand and continued to absorb. His injuries recovered instantly, and at this time, the momentum fluctuations on Lord Yanlu's body also changed suddenly. The ancestor of creation. The entire universe has one more ancestor of creation. End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 919. Haha, Demon Clan Blue Wolf Overlord, you want to kill me, but you're one step too late. The extremely powerful force was felt by Overlord Yanlu. At this time, Overlord Yanlu looked at Overlord Blue Wolf, laughing ferociously and wantonly. In a short time, his Ice Moon clan had the ancestor of creation. Damn it, at this time, the face of Overlord Blue Wolf of the Demon Clan was extremely gloomy. He stared at Overlord Yanlu, one step too late, just one step too late. In a short time, the 6-color crystal stone that he regarded as a sure thing was actually obtained by the second ordinary Overlord and refined. Blue Wolf Overlord, you also got this 6-color crystal stone before, right? Ignoring the ugly face of Overlord Blue Wolf, Overlord Yanlu asked with a smile. By the way, there are 2 more. Suddenly, Overlord Yanlu looked in 2 directions excitedly. Before, he saw 3 6-color crystal stones falling from the crack. He refined one and became the ancestor of creation. If they get another one, and let other ordinary masters of the Ice Moon clan refine it, Wouldn't it be possible to give birth to another ancestor of creation? Humph. Hearing the words of Lord Yanlu, Lord Qinglang snorted coldly. Lord Yanlu was not a stupid person, and it was not difficult for him to guess that he had refined the six-color crystal. But before he could say anything, he heard the words of Lord Yanlu, and saw him looking at two directions with a fiery gaze, and his face changed again. Lord Qinglang hurriedly said, "Lord Yanlu, there are still two six-color crystals, one for each of us, and don't leak out what's going on here." At this time, Lord Yanlu also has the strength of the ancestor of creation, and he can't get both of the remaining two six-color crystals. Moreover, Lord Qinglang is also worried that Lord Yanlu will leak out the news of the six-color crystal. "Haha, Lord Qinglang, don't worry, I won't leak it," Lord Yanlu laughed. Even a fool knows what a great opportunity the six-color crystal represents. How could he leak it? "Okay, no more talk, Lord Qinglang, I'm leaving first." Lord Yanlu laughed and flew quickly in one direction. Lord Qinglang did the same at this time and chose another direction. This time there was no accident, he got a six-color crystal. Lord Yanlu got the other one. The two got the same thing. Lord Yanlu was very excited at this time, but Lord Qinglang's face was very gloomy. Originally, the remaining three six-color crystals were all his, but Lord Yanlu got two of them. Of course he was gloomy. Four of these six-color crystals appeared in a short time, maybe there are more, wait. Thinking in his heart, the Blue Wolf Lord sat cross-legged in one place, and his attention was completely focused on the space crack above the Chaos Plane. Now only he and the Yanlu Lord know the news of the six-color crystal stone, that is, only the Demon Clan and the Binjio Clan know it. His advantage is still great. On the other side, the Yanlu Lord also sat quietly, staring at the huge space crack in the void. When the Demon Clan Blue Wolf Lord and the Binjio Clan Yanlu Lord were expecting the six-color crystal stone to fall again, Li Yang was in the second-level space of the Kaishan sect inheritance tower. Boom! A terrible soul burst out from Li Yang's body. He waved the supreme holy weapon sword in his hand and kept crossing the strange secret pattern in front of him. To enter the third level of the Kaishan sect inheritance tower, you need to have the peak strength of the ancestor of creation, and the strange secret pattern is to detect strength. Li Yang's attack lasted for more than 10 seconds, and then cracks appeared on the strange secret pattern. Crack. Finally, the crack was completely broken. After it was completely broken, Li Yang's face suddenly showed an extremely brilliant smile. Rightward arrow. The second floor of the inheritance tower has been cracked successfully. Let's see what's in the third floor space. Li Yang did not hesitate, and his consciousness quickly entered the third floor space. Previously, there was a supreme holy weapon in the first floor space, as well as 57 kinds of fusion law inheritance, and many weapon roughs. And in the second floor space, there are 3 supreme holy weapons, more weapon roughs, and even a method of refining a supreme holy weapon, and even a complete method of cultivation at the realm of the ancestor of creation. Li Yang was naturally looking forward to the third floor of the inheritance tower space. His consciousness quickly entered it. Boom! Just after entering it, a voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Haha, being able to come to the third floor of my Kaishan sect inheritance tower means that you are a rare genius and are qualified to be absorbed by my Kaishan sect. No matter where you are, you only need to bring my Kaishan sect token, and you can go to my Kaishan sect and become a core disciple. A loud laugh was heard, and then it disappeared. The most conspicuous thing in the whole space was a token. This token was only the size of a palm, and there was a symbol engraved on it, like a sword. Kai Tian token. Li Yang's heart moved. When he first climbed the 100th step of the talent ladder, he got a Kai Tian token. The Kai Tian token was the same as the one in front of him, but the token in front of him felt more advanced, and the patterns engraved on it were more complicated. A core disciple of Kai Tian sect, Li Yang thought to himself. He clenched his right hand, and the token came into his hand. Buzz. After holding the token in his hand, Li Yang suddenly had an extremely wonderful feeling. He could vaguely sense a place. That place was extremely far away from him, and he could also sense a route to that place. Is that far away the Caitian sect? Li Yang looked at a distant place. You can guess where the token is sensing, not to mention that the token has given Li Yang vague information. Obviously, the Caitian sect really exists. There are indeed other forces in the universe. But, why have I never seen them before? Are there any obstacles between them? Li Yang pondered slightly. Or is it too far away? So we can't reach it? It goes without saying that the Caitian sect is powerful, but their part of the universe is completely out of reach. In the entire universe, the most powerful people known to all are the previous 20 founders. Logically speaking, endless years should be able to come into contact with a force as powerful as the Caitian sect. However, before Li Yang received the Caitian sect inheritance, he did not know that this force existed at all. Li Yang was not sure whether the universe they were in at this time, compared with the so-called Caitian sect, was similar to the backward Earth and other civilizations, or there were other reasons. At the beginning, the Earth was very closed, and it was not even sure that there were other living planets outside. As a result, the civilization of the entire universe was extremely brilliant. Is their universe at this time just like the original Earth? In a closed state? Thinking in his mind, Li Yang also quickly judged the route to Caitian sect based on the Earth. There are several turning points on that route, and each turning point has a special space passage specially prepared for the inheritors. Li Yang waved his right hand, and points quickly passed in front of his eyes, and then stopped at one place. The first space passage to Caitian sect is in the Chaos Plane. Thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 reward, thank you. End of this chapter. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 920. The first space passage to Caitian sect is in Chaos Planes. Li Yang looked at the route in front of him. Of course he knew where the Chaos Planes was. It was in the Chaos Planes that the human race's supreme holy weapon, the brilliant galaxy, was obtained. There is a space passage established by the Caitian sect there. Once you enter the space passage, you can go to the next place. This route will be completely unfamiliar to me after we reach the Chaos Planes. Going to Caitian sect requires passing through space passages one after another. At this time, Li Yang only knew the route to the Chaos Plane of the first space passage. As for other routes, he was not clear at all. It was far beyond the information that the human race had. It seemed that the rest of the journey was not within their universe at all. Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Li Yang pondered for a moment, but was not too moved. He started to check other information. For him, even if he knew the location of Caitian sect now, it was obviously not the time to go there. My strength can continue to improve now. In addition to the 3 fusion laws that I have mastered now, there are also time, fire fusion laws, darkness, thunder and lightning fusion laws, space, and metal fusion laws. I understand all 3 fusion laws. It's entirely possible for me to master the remaining 1/3. Now, Li Yang's strength can be called the invincible founder of the world, but his true state is just that of the ordinary founder, and there are only 3 fusion laws in his universe. Li Yang can definitely increase the number of fusion laws in his universe to 6. At that time, Li Yang must be stronger. The Caitian sect was very powerful, so of course he had to be fully prepared. Don't worry now, wait until your strength is maximized before leaving, Li Yang thought to himself. He now has the Holy Fall clone and the Ancestral Dragon clone. The fusion rules can easily master 6 types, but the maximum is 6. The pinnacle of the founder of the world is to master the 9 fusion laws, and he is still short of 3. If you rely on yourself to understand, it will definitely take a long time. However, as long as Li Yang finds a clone similar to the ancestral dragon, it will be easy to master the 3 fusion laws, and he will definitely succeed in a short time. This universe cannot be found. With the Caitian sect so powerful, it is entirely possible for Li Yang to find it, so Li Yang will definitely go to the Caitian sect in the future. He has a world tree clone in this universe, so Li Yang doesn't have to worry about death. Putting away the open heaven token, Li Yang looked at other places on the 3rd floor of the Heritage Tower. 9 supreme holy weapons. Li Yang looked at one place, where weapons exuded extremely terrifying power. Moreover, in Li Yang's opinion, the power of these 9 supreme holy weapons seems to be several times more powerful than the red gold wings, black universe sword and other powers in the 1st and 2nd floors of his inheritance tower. Is the power of the supreme holy weapon also divided into strong and weak? Li Yang secretly asked. Except for his Kunlun mirror, the power of the other supreme holy artifacts was almost the same. However, Li Yang clearly felt a much stronger power from the 9 supreme holy artifacts in front of him. Thinking silently in his heart, Li Yang refined these supreme holy weapons and tested their power. About 50% stronger. Li Yang is now truly at the top of the universe in terms of strength. Of course, he can test out some of the gaps between these supreme holy weapons. It seems that these supreme holy weapons are indeed more powerful. The supreme sacred artifact is already the most powerful treasure in the eyes of humans and monsters, so in their eyes they are almost the same and have the same power. But for Caitian sect, it probably means nothing. Just as Li Yang thought, after he learned about the information about these supreme holy artifacts, Li Yang looked elsewhere. Like the 1st and 2nd levels of space, this layer also has a lot of crude weapon embryos, and there are actually 100 crude weapon embryos for the pinnacle holy weapon. There are so many. Li Yang was obviously shocked. This is just a crude weapon, but it has reached the peak level of a sacred weapon. If you perfect one piece, the crude weapon embryo of this pinnacle holy weapon can be transformed into a supreme holy weapon. If the crude embryos of 100 pinnacle holy weapons are all perfect, then they will be 100 supreme holy weapons. As expected of the Caitian sect, which is famous for its weapon refining, Li Yang sighed in his heart. As I learned more about it, the strength displayed by this Caitian sect became more and more terrifying. Next to these crude weapon embryos, there are more methods for refining the supreme holy weapon, which are at least 10 times more detailed than the 2nd level of information. Li Yang looked at it for a moment and then stopped paying attention. He really has no interest in refining weapons now. Found it. Li Yang continued to search, and he suddenly looked at a place where there was information about cultivation. At the peak of the ancestral realm, the 9 fusion laws have become the 2nd order universe. The 2nd order universe can be called the simplest universe, and life already has the basis for reproduction. After the ancestral realm, there is the chaos realm, also known as the chaos saint. If you want to break through, you must break the limits of the 2nd order universe, so that the life within it has the power to reproduce, and then you can cross to a higher level. Messages appeared in front of Li Yang. Chaos saint. Li Yang looked carefully. Is this the realm after the ancestral realm? In addition to the 9 fusion laws, you also need to allow the life created in your universe to have the ability to reproduce. Is this the key to becoming a chaos saint? Li Yang was shocked. It is normal that the life created by their founder in their own universe cannot reproduce. After all, the life created casually can continue to reproduce, which is too powerful. And now, a universe that can continue to reproduce represents infinite possibilities, which is almost no different from a real world. It seems that there must be a chaos saint in this Caitian section, Li Yang thought to himself. Not from this information, just look at what Li Yang heard when he just entered the 3rd floor of the inheritance tower. To enter the 3rd floor of the inheritance tower, you need the peak strength of the founder, and this strength is only the core disciple of the Caitian section. From this, you can also judge how strong the Caitian sect is. Li Yang continued to watch and quickly read through a lot of information. At this time, he frowned slightly. No, there is no introduction at all. Before he broke through to become the founder, his own universe expanded to the limit, and vaguely touched a place where there was even a heart beating, which was extremely strange. Li Yang entered the third floor of the Caitian sect inheritance tower this time to find out what that place was. However, Li Yang did not see any introduction about this. Frowning slightly, Li Yang suddenly exited the inheritance tower. Teacher is looking for me. He looked at his watch, and his heart moved. The eternal ancestor sent an urgent message, asking him to enter the virtual world quickly. Now, the human race is the only one in the universe. All the alien races combined are not as strong as the human race. At this time, it is impossible for the human race to encounter any crisis. End of this chapter.